Welcome back, everybody. Good to be back. I'm in a good mood. As you can see, I got the old American flag up here. Better than people peeping through my window while I do these things. So that's a new addition. But I got more stuff coming as we go to cozy this on up. But tonight's up. Well, first, before we get into what we're doing, where I'm smoking this tonight. That is the tobacco of choice. I wasn't going to do that. I typically save this for winter. I don't know why. I just do. Seems like nightcap, winter, it goes well. I don't know. Summer, not so much summer. That's good. Now, haven't had that in ages. Speaking of America, I want to talk about three, technically two icons of America that scream freedom. And that is the Jeep Wrangler, or the Jeep, and the Ford Bronco, which I'll get into in a second. Now, and of course the Gladiator, the Jeep Gladiator. Now, I am a Jeep guy. For you guys that don't know, I am a Jeep guy. I've had Jeep since 2000, since I could buy one. I bought my first one in 2000. Then I bought it in 2007. I bought a JK. And then after that, in 2012, I bought a Grand Cherokee Laredo. Which I like, but let me tell you, I've always longed to have my Wrangler, because once you get a Wrangler, you kind of never want to go back to anything else. But I'm here to talk about tonight about, for the past, since 2018, when the JL, which is the new Jeep version of the Jeep, was announced, I've been foaming at the mouth. But I've held off for a while. I held off mostly because the Jeep Gladiator was coming. It was rumored, the Jeep truck, and I've always wanted a Jeep truck. I wanted a Comanche. Back in the day, my teacher's son had one, a black one, which was so cool. I wanted one of those, and I held off for a little bit. And things happened with the virus and everything. So I was ready to buy this spring, but I held off. I'm like, and because there was one that I wanted, the Gladiator Rubicon, with all the features that I wanted and everything. It was just pretty much the exact one. And I almost pulled the trigger, but I backed off. It's one of those things. Sometimes you want something, but you got to take a step back before you commit to that. So I also knew the Bronco was in the works, and the Bronco I never took too seriously. I like the old Broncos, which is what this new version in 2021, the style is based on. I thought that was cool. I'm glad they skipped over the suburban type looking vehicle, and they went back to its roots, which is cool. I like that. So I decided to take a look at the Bronco. It was on the 13th they were going to reveal it, and they did, and I was surprised. I'm like, oh wow, damn, they kind of nailed that. So now I'm in the conundrum of what do I get, because also Jeep revealed a Hemi version of the Wrangler, which is got to be pretty cool, and they're going to do it probably in a Gladiator too, so it's like, maybe I'll wait. I'll wait a little longer. So see, here's the thing. I've always wanted a truck. I could use a truck. It'd be a great practical thing, but the Gladiator, it's overpriced. They're all overpriced. That's just my opinion. I just don't know Like, because the reality, first off, I wanted to go overlanding. Like, this is a thing I want to do so badly. But the reality is I probably won't get a chance to do that. Not as frequent as I would like, where, where I am in Rhode Island, getting up to New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont, not a hard thing, or even New York, in some parts of Connecticut, Mass. Not a hard thing, but it's the same sort of scenery around here, and the trails are kind of gnarly and roots and rocks, and not that that's bad. That, you want a challenge if you're gonna go off-roading, right, and stuff. But out west, the trails just seem so much, I don't know, better. Like, where you could get away more. I don't know. For some reason, I just get that. I don't know. I'm not big into off-wheel, four-wheel driving and stuff. I did it with my first Wrangler, but nothing too crazy around here. I babied that thing too much. I didn't want to destroy it. It was my first real car or vehicle I bought myself when I got my job, and I treated that thing like it was. I love that thing, man. I'll do a video on Jeeps and why I love them and stuff another time. But right now, let's get to my conundrum of what do I buy? What should I get? So for me, I was looking at it, and then like if I get the Gladiator. Now, I always wanted a Rubicon because that's their top tier off-road thing. I kind of wanted one. I've had the Wrangler Sport in 2000. Then I went up to the JK, the Sahara Unlimited back in 2007, and then of course I got the Cherokee here. So my next natural step for having a Jeep Wrangler would have been the Rubicon. Like, that's the top of the line. Like, I finally did it. Yes, I got to the top, right? It's more of a status and ego thing, I think. But the reality of it is now. So lately, I've been thinking, before the Bronco came on scene, and you're pondering life as we were all in lockdown here. The Gladiator is great. I like it. It's ugly in a loving way. It's very Jeep-like. But practical-wise, I don't know if it would work for me. So I was thinking, I'm like, well, for that price and all that, maybe I should just go back to my roots and get a two-door Rubicon. Because I gotta tell you, I loved my two-door Rubicon. That thing, my Sport, back in 2000, that thing was nimble. It felt like it turned on a dime. Oh man, that thing was awesome. But anyway, so I've been thinking, all right, two door, maybe we'll think about that. I don't know. And then the Bronco comes out, and I'm like, huh? You know what I really like? I like the two-door Bronco. For some reason, I just like that two-door Bronco. I don't know why. So I've been watching videos for the past couple of days. The features are excellent. So for me, I'm thinking, all right, well, look at it this way. Practical reasons. Not that it's a practical vehicle. And I wouldn't go for a practical. You only live once. You might as well have a few. And I'm in that age bracket where, I got maybe a few more vehicles that are kind of cool like this I could get once I hit like 75 or whatever. Well, then again, who knows? By then we'll have flying cars, right? I don't know. So I figured, all right, well, and not even only that, Jeep's coming out with an electric vehicle as well. Not that I'm big on that, because I also like the Cybertruck as well, as ugly as that is. I did put a deposit on that for shits and giggles, and I'm obviously not going to get that. I don't think that's going to be in the realm. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, all right, well, to be honest, sorry, my blanket's falling here. 90% of my time go from here to work. So I'm paying all that money to go from here to there. Why would I do that? That seems kind of ridiculous to do that, but you gotta travel in style. I do want to go out and do more, obviously. Like I told you guys, I want to vlog while I'm driving and stuff. So I do want to get out there more. The big problem is, and I was going to do that anyway, regardless whether I'd gotten a Jeep this spring or summer. I was going to do that anyway because I wanted to get out more and go explore a little bit more, like I used to do when I was with my early Jeep. I used to go to the beach all the time. I'd go everywhere with that thing. I loved it. And you know what the best part was? Again, it was small, compact. You could park anywhere, do anything. It was great. So I kind of want to get back out there and just seeing things, off the beaten path type things. Not getting away from the city is basically what I'd like to do. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, the Bronco seems more. It's like I get the more convenience. I guess more practicality. Not that it's practical, right? Then again, I'm just trying to rationalize everything. So that'll probably change 6 ways to Sunday here. So I was thinking, all right, well, the Bronco's probably better on gas, which is always good because the Jeeps are notoriously horrible on that. Which is fine. You kind of, when you get a Jeep, you accept it. I don't recall seeing the specs for the Bronco when I was looking, but I imagine it's comparable, about the same. But I was just thinking, all right, well, it'd probably be a little more comfortable going to and from work most of the time and adventuring. So, thinking about it, so I was on the site tonight and I decided, I was looking at it, the Badlands, the two-door Badlands, that's although the Wild Peak one, that's tempting too. That's more of the Mojave Desert Racer type. I ended up putting a $100 deposit to reserve one. Maybe it's foolish, maybe it's not. It's just to reserve it. I'm not committed because I'm still technically looking, and hopefully by the time all this starts to happen, the economy will be better, life will be better, we'll be back to normal, hopefully, and stuff. So I will keep you guys posted on what I want to do. But the Bronco, I think they nailed it. It was great. There was a meme I saw. I think it's Autovlog. He put it out on his Instagram where he showed a picture of the new Bronco. Said, "Hey Blazer, it's great to be back," and it showed a picture of the new Blazer. It says, "Shut up, I came back as a car," because that's what's sad. Like Chevy missed the ball on that so bad. It's a shame because I loved the Blazer as a kid. I even liked the big bulky one. I liked that one over the Bronco, and of course, everybody remembers the white Bronco with OJ and everything. So hopefully enough time has passed where people don't have that stigma. Of course, I think everyone's always that was alive at that moment will say, "Oh yeah, you know, OJ with the Bronco." So I don't know. Interesting times. So that's where I'm at. So tonight's video wasn't too in depth on anything philosophical or anything like that. But I guess when it comes to which one do you pick for a vehicle? I do like vehicles. I like all sorts of cars. Now, see, I'm a Jeep guy. I'm loyal to the Jeep, but at this point in my life, I'm also open to it because, like with the Cybertruck and like the Bronco, I like what they did. They could have did what Chevy did and made it into a car, really, and be like, eh. And they kind of did that with the Bronco Sport, although that looks like interesting. That looks like it could be an interesting overland vehicle, to be honest. But I think they did well. So I've always been open to these, even Toyota and all that. So it'll be interesting. Now the best part is the competition that goes between Ford and Jeep here, because Jeep's going to come back. I mean, they already did with the V8 possibly, and their next, like 2022, they're going to step the game up with their thing, and then they're probably going right to the drawing board right now and coming up with the next version of the Jeep, the next generation. And I know that I think it was, I want to say when the Gladiator premiered last spring, not this spring, last spring, in 2019, that you may see newer models of Jeeps sooner than like 10 years or whatever. You may see that. He was talking about that. I don't know if that'll ever happen or how true that is, and I might have misunderstood that, but I believe you said that. So I think they're anticipating that they're going to have to counter this move. This is what I love about capitalism. The beauty of it all here is that you get the competition, and we all benefit. It kind of reminds me of Arcade 1-Up at games and Toy Shock all doing the home arcade thing, and they're competing, and they're building better products and trying to appeal to us. So, and we all benefit from it. So that's a beautiful thing about the free market. So that's awesome. So I look forward to it. I mean, the chances of me getting a Bronco, I think, are pretty high right now. I don't know. There's just something appealing about that two-door Bronco. I even like the orange, yellow. Of course, I like orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors. I like that version. With my 2007 Sahara, it was a pea green Jeep, and I remember saying, "Well, can we find this in black?" And they couldn't find it because it just came out, and I just said, "Ah, frig it, I'll go with it." Right? It was just meant to be. So I called it Yoda. My first one was black. I love that one. That's my true love. If I could ever find that vehicle, I'd buy it. So what vehicles do you guys like? What do you like, the new Bronco? Do you like the Jeeps? What is it? Where do you fall on that? Do you like more high performance cars? Do you like more rugged vehicles like me? I like the utilitarian type of vehicle for some reason. I like can go anywhere, tackle anything. You know, looks kind of like the misfit of the car family or the vehicle family, if you will. I like that. It's just different, especially the Jeep. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know. It'd be fun to do a video on it and give my take on it, comparing it to a Jeep. I don't know. Fun times. It's good times to be alive sometimes. You know, I mean, with all that's going on, it's like the Charles Dickens said, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. It's a really strange thing, right? But I am curious what Jeep's going to do to counter this. And I'm even curious what Toyota's going to do, because they're not going to sit around idly. The 4Runner is going to want to come back and come back. It's a good, solid vehicle, and they haven't changed it in 12 years or something like that. I'm sure they're going to, you Toyota guys are probably saying, well, come on, man, these two, you know, they've set the bar here. Come on, let's go. Let's do our thing. So I imagine they'll be doing something in the next few years or so, I hope. At least for the Toyota people, you know? I like a good, healthy competition and stuff, and variety. Variety is the spice of life, right? Ah, man. Although I do love the Gladiator. Ah, what to go with? I mean, I would love that extra space in the back. But I got to give it to the Bronco. You know, you can't do this with the two-door, what I want, where the doors come off on the Bronco, and it does it on the 4-door, the 2-door. But with the 4-door, you can actually store your doors in the back and not leave them on the trail. That's pretty cool. You know, and then they have, of course, the complete open top where the Jeep has the bar across, which I like, actually. I like the crossbar, to be honest. I don't know, something about it. It's retro. It's really just a speaker bar. It doesn't do much of anything, but little details like that, they kind of gave it a little to Jeep there. So, you know, I don't know. I think you can't lose. Let's put it this way. They're both capable, from what I see and what I heard people talk about, and what, you know, it looks like you can't lose no matter what you pick here. It's just a matter of which do you feel like is cooler, I guess. I don't know. Me personally, it's just because I've had Jeeps in the past, and I'm 43. I'd like to try something new. I've had a Ford in the past. I'm not really a Ford kind of guy. I was always more of a Chevy guy, to be honest. But the Ford, I had a '86 Ford Thunderbird. It was my stepmother's, and I got to use that my junior and senior year of high school. In the first year to in college, and it was, I love that thing. I remember racing my buddy Tim in the parking lot at the high school, and I beat him. It was great. Oh, that was fun. Don't do that, kids. It's not wise. But I did love that Ford Thunderbird, man. That thing was awesome. So I'm not a big Ford guy, but I'm open to it. Again, one of the trucks I was looking into before the Jeep truck came along was the Raptor. And of course, I always wanted a Ranger too when I was a kid. I loved the Ford Ranger. That was one of the vehicles I was looking at. But then I decided to go with the Jeep back in the day, way back in the day. I was like, nah, I want a Jeep. Got to have a Jeep. Got to do it while I'm young and crazy, and that's what I did. The Ranger I always liked. I liked the new Ranger. It's pretty cool. I was hoping they'd do a Ranger Raptor version, and that may still happen at some point. I mean, the best scenario would be for me to win the lottery and just buy whatever the hell I want, but that ain't going to happen. But yeah, so the Raptor was one of the vehicles that I was looking at before. I was looking back in 2016 and 17. I was thinking I would love a Raptor because it's just different. You know, I'm kind of in that. I'll probably go back to a Jeep at some point in my life again. I know that, but at this point, I'd like to try something a little bit different, just to see what it's like, and just to say, oh yeah, I had one of those too. So I mean, I could end up with a Raptor at the end of the day. I doubt it, but it's not exactly my style. I do love the Raptor though, but I'm more of the Jeep Bronco kind of guy, tooling around and doing things. Not so much the desert racing kind of crazy. Although the Mojave is pretty good. The Gladiator Mojave is pretty darn good too. I like that one as well. That's actually probably a better street ride around here because it's geared more towards speed, so to speak. It wouldn't be necessarily a bumpy ride. I don't know. Choices, man. Choices. It's good to be a free man. Or free woman, if you will. I gotta say, this nightcap is burning really well. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to finish my nightcap here. I may do a shot. I don't know. I haven't decided. But thanks for joining me. I don't know what tomorrow's video will be, but this was fun to talk about. So periodically, you're going to get this kind of a discussion where I talk about cars or, you know, something odd like that I like. Like I said, with the electric vehicles and stuff, I like them as well. So I will do my review at some point with my the Super 73 at some point. I'll get there. Still learning all of this and figuring all this out. So hopefully I'm getting better. I know I got 2 subscribers, so thank you. I appreciate it, the 2 of you. And I know a few others watch but haven't subscribed yet. And I don't blame you. I'm not quite, you know, Casey Neistat or anything special yet. But I appreciate you guys checking me out at least. So that's going to do it for tonight. Oh, I ran out, man. That's not good. Can't have that. This is my closing shot. I gotta make it look like I know what I'm doing here. So I almost burned my finger. All right, kids. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.